What is up, my friends? You are very, very welcome along to our player ratings here at Anfield Agenda. After Liverpool and Spurs play out a bit of a Christmas cracker, ended in 6 goals to 3 to the Reds. I can't believe I'm saying that scoreline still, and I think I've said that in every video, but it is a mad one. 6 goals to 3. So, if you haven't joined us for a player ratings video before, this is what you're going to see. I'm going to go through the referee, the players, and our manager, giving them all a score out of 10. Now, some of you guys have helped us out by playing along already and submitted your player ratings, so you will see 2 images on each player image. The big square will be my score, and the little one in the corner of the image will be the average Anfield Agenda score to those that have submitted their ratings. If you want to be included in future videos, you know what to do. Join us for the match reaction. You'll see a link in there, and you can click on it. It being a match day, we wouldn't be here without our incredible sponsor. So again, I want to say a quick thank you to Manscaped. If you're looking for that special present or that last minute present this festive season, check out the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra, the all-in-one men's grooming kit that features the Lawnmower 5.0 with the brightest ever LED spotlight, their skin safe technology, and a battery that lasts 90 minutes. You also get the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Manscaped's 2 liquid formulations, along with a couple of free gifts to you, the Shed travel bag and the boxer briefs. And all of this you can get with 20% off and free shipping by using our code on the screen there, Anfield20. Use that at checkout or scan the QR code in the bottom corner to get that 20% off and free shipping. Right, let's get stuck into this one, and we will start off with the referee. I thought he was okay, to be honest with you. I didn't really have any issues with the referee today. You'll always have a few nitpicks that you think maybe a yellow card should have been given here or not there. The foul on McAllister on the edge of a box. All these things that we'll all have thoughts on. But ultimately, I don't think he destroyed the game or anything. So I'm going to give him a 7. And you guys are quite similar. So Sam Barrett gets a score of 7.1 from the Anfield Agenda audience and a 7 from me. Next up is Alisson Becker. Didn't really do too much wrong today, but I just don't like us conceding 3 goals again. That is 8 league goals conceded now in the last 3 games. And whilst I don't feel any of them were particularly Alisson's fault, 1 or 2 of them maybe he could have done smidgen better. I'm thinking maybe James Maddison's one could have set himself a bit earlier, but again, I'm being very picky here. What I will say is his distribution today was top notch, and you only had to look at the difference between the 2 goalkeepers there. Fraser Forster looked like a rabbit in the headlights every time he got the ball, whereas Alisson looked far more composed. So I have given him a score of 6.5. You guys a little bit higher with a 6.8. Next up, Trent Alexander-Arnold, who I thought was really, really good defensively and offensively today. 3-4 times I counted him and Son in one-on-ones, and he got the better of Son almost every time. Again, we can talk about his range of passing, but that assist for Luis Diaz's goal was nothing short of sensational. Pinpoint accuracy from Trent. Just reminds us why we want to keep him around, of course, and hopefully we do get some positive news on his contract situation. As I say here right now, I've got no idea what's happening, but today I think he can be very happy with his performance. So I've given Trent a score of 8, and you guys identical with an average Anfield Agenda viewer score also of 8. Next up, Joe Gomez. Do you know what? I'm not going to say this very often, I don't think, but I think he was better than Virgil today. I thought he was the best of our 2 centre-backs. You're never going to be happy when you can see 3 goals in a game, but to come in, to step up, to take Ibrahim Konate's place and be as, I guess, versatile as Joe has been, I thought he was good today. So, you may disagree with me on this one, but I've given him a score of 8.5. And I think he's deserving of it. I thought he was very good. You guys have gone a bit lower. The Anfield Agenda audience have gone for a score of 7.6. The captain, Virgil van Dijk. And again, I haven't happy with us conceding that many goals. And there were a couple of things today that I thought he could have done better. I thought he ball watched a bit too much for Dominic Solanke's goal, the last goal of the game. I thought he could have tracked that a little bit better. Of course, we'll talk about Robertson for that one as well. But all in all, I know he won't be happy. The manager won't be happy with conceding 3 goals. It was a mad game, but you've got to take these into account. So, for Virgil, I've given him a score of 6.5. You guys a little bit higher with a 7.1. Now, I know these scores might seem a little bit harsh, but we did concede 3 goals again today. We got to remind you of that one. So, next up, Andy Robertson. Look, I thought he was okay at times today, but towards the latter part of that game, when we were sloppy, he was there or thereabouts as well, and could have done better to block in a cross for that SALAH goal. I don't know with Robbo anymore. I think I'm at that point now where I'm thinking is a hope more than expectation that he's going to get back to the Robbo that he was. So I think it's a position we do need to look at. I'm not going to go too harsh on him today though, so I've given him a score of 6.5, and you guys will look very close. You've averaged a score of 6.6 for Andy Robertson. Let us know in the comment section, by the way, if you agree or disagree with mine and the Anfield Agenda audience's take on Robbo. Next up, the golden boy, Ryan Gravenberch, was worried when he went down holding his right foot for a minute there in the game, but I think it was just a knocker he was trodden on. So other than that, I thought he was brilliant. Full of energy, full of class. I love the way he puts his body in between himself and the ball to shield it. He's just top notch. I don't really have anything else to add to that other than another brilliant display in the centre of the park from Ryan today. I've given him a score of 8.5. You guys a little bit lower, not really feeling it as much as I have there, and giving him a score of 7.9. Moving on to Alexis McAllister, and how great was it to see him get a headed goal? I mean, that must be a collector's item. I don't know how many he scored previously, but great to see him in and around the penalty area, sniffing out that chance for himself when the ball broke. Now, of course, he shouldn't have stopped. He should have played to the whistle for the one that he thought he was fouled on. And look, I'm not saying he wasn't fouled, by the way, but what I am saying is you play to the referee's whistle. He kind of stopped, and, well, look, Spurs went from there and scored, but again, you see what we miss when McAllister's not around. He's just a very good footballer. So today, allowing, and I've docked him half a point for that little bit of switching off on the edge of the box, I've given him a score of 7.5. It would have been an 8, but he gets docked at half a point for switching off on the edge of the box. Next up, Dominik Szoboszlai. And look, I'm going to say this. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I think that was his best performance in a Liverpool shirt. Top 3 in the man of the match poll for me. It wasn't quite my man of the match, but I thought he was outstanding. It was a coin flip between him and somebody else for me, but brilliant. Energy abound, and his goal, I really, really enjoyed the goal, because not only did he win the header, but he continued on his run. Mo slipped it into him, and he then just slipped it under Fraser Forster. Absolutely sublime from Dom. So I've given him a score of 9, and you guys, feeling the love as well, I've gone for an average score of 9.2. Next up, Cody Gakpo. I thought he was okay, but I was left wanting a bit more from Cody. I wish he'd go around the outside a little bit more than always checking in on his right foot. If there is to be a battle to be had right now between him and Lucho on the left side, if Jota starts playing centrally, or Chiesa or Darwin or whomever, I think he's losing that battle at the moment. DIAZ was sensational today. So, being honest, I wanted a little bit more from Cody, and I gave him a score today of 6.5. You guys were a little bit more generous with your votes. You've gone for a score of 7.1. Again, let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with that one. Right, the great man, Mohamed Salah, and so much to go through here. Firstly, he has become the first player in Premier League history to have 10 goals and 10 assists before Christmas. Not only that, he's moved clear now in the 4th place in the all-time goal-scoring charts for Liverpool, surpassing Billy Liddell. And the records just keep tumbling for the great man. He's got the best goal-scoring average for Liverpool, I think, one every 131 minutes now. There's nothing else I can really add. And this isn't a game today where he probably could have had another one or two. If you look back at some of the shots that were blocked and missed in the first half. But his vision, his guile, his awareness, just everything about the great man just needs to be praised today, because he was top notch. He won the Anfield Agenda player man of the match in the vote at the end of the stream. I would slightly differ, which I'll move on to in a minute, but it was a great performance again from Mo, and didn't quite get the hat-trick, which I'm sure he would have wanted, but I will still give Mo a very big score of 9. You guys going a little bit higher with a 9.3. And now on to the man who was my Anfield Agenda man of the match. I thought Luis Diaz was brilliant and everywhere today. Whether he was through the centre, pulling deep to receive the ball, dropping out to the left or to the right, popping up with a header as well after that brilliant cross from Trent. And he got himself a second goal as well, if my memory's correct here. A lot to work through from that game. I'm almost certainly dragged one across the keeper into the corner as well. So 2 for him, 2 for Salah, 1 for Maka, 1 for Dom. I thought he was brilliant. Honestly, we spoke about this maybe being Dom's best game in a Liverpool shirt. I thought Luis Diaz was sensational today. That's the player that we want to see more of. So I've given him a score of 9.5. You guys have gone a little bit lower, but still a very high score at a 9.1. Now we move on to Curtis Jones, who of course was one of the substitutes today. Look, I find it hard to give anybody high scores that came off the bench because we became a bit more sloppy after that and started to concede a little bit. Not really any slight on Curtis Jones, but I thought he was okay when he came on. Didn't really do too much right, didn't do too much wrong, just kind of was there. So I've given him a score of 6.5, and you guys absolutely identical with a similar score. Next up, Diogo Jota. Didn't look his best when he came on. There's no getting away from that. You know, he is an intelligent footballer, but you can still see that he needs a bit more rhythm, right, to maybe get back before Arne Slot wants to start playing him again. I do think the position through the centre is his to lose at this point, and I think once he gets the fitness up and that little bit of sharpness again, we'll be back to the Diogo that we all know and love. But today did look a little bit rusty coming off the bench. Again, not unusual for somebody who's been out as long as he has and starting to come back in. I've given him a score of 6. You guys have gone a little bit higher with an average of 6.4. Next up is Harvey Elliott, who again, only a few minutes off the bench. Not going to dwell too long on it. I'm going to be just honest and say he gets the average score of a sub, which is 6. And you guys a little bit higher with a 6.2. Next up, Darwin Núñez, who, meh, again. But, I don't have too high an expectation anymore of Darwin when he comes on or when he plays. So I'm just going to say I think we have a big decision to make in the summer. And I don't think Darwin's going to turn it around. But off his little cameo from the bench, you'll always get endeavour and work rate from him, but didn't really set the place alight. Was very unlucky, by the way. I think it was SZOBO played the ball in outside of the foot. And if it hadn't have been from a great last-ditch touch from the defender, I think he would have had himself a tap-in goal there today. But I'm giving him a score of 6 off the bench, and you guys with a 6.1. So lastly, but definitely by no means least, the manager. And there's so much to admire about the way he set that team up today. But I know that he, Virgil and the dressing room will be unhappy with the 3 goals that we conceded. If we can play with that swagger and confidence like we did in the first 45, it's going to take one hell of a team to stop us this season. This man has worked wonders since he's come into the club. Has the lads absolutely flying and full of confidence. And I had to dock him a little point today because, we did concede 3 goals and we could talk about maybe why wasn't Endo brought on and a few other bits and pieces. But overall, just love the man to bits. A great appointment by the club. And I've given him a 7.5 today. You guys, 8.9. I think you're being too generous for a team that conceded 3 goals, but I do love the love for the manager, so I'm not hating on it. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the Anfield Agenda player ratings. Now it's over to you guys. Let me know in the comment section if you agree or disagree. Just a shout, there will be a news video coming out at about 9:30 tonight, so keep an eye out for that one. And again, thank you to our incredible sponsors, Manscaped. We wouldn't be here without them. And if you're looking for that last minute Christmas gift, check out manscaped.com. Use the code Anfield20 to get yourself 20% off and free shipping store-wide. That is Anfield20 to get that 20% off and free shipping. We will see you tomorrow for another live stream at 8:45. There'll be a video with David Lynch coming out tomorrow as well as a news video. But tonight, 9:30, another news video. We'll be talking contracts and looking ahead to the January window. We'll talk to you then. Much love. Bye-bye.